Hello, it's 7 o'clock. Let's get this party started. Hello, and welcome to How to Lose Weight Without Spending Hours in the Gym, giving up your favorite foods, and falling off the wagon, failing over and over and over again for 37, 38, for the millionth time. I am your host, Jesse Benedetti. Now, before I begin, this webinar is for two types of people. The first type of person is beginners, people that don't know a lot about fitness or nutrition. They haven't set their own goals. They haven't gone on their own journey. It's people that don't work out a lot as it is, or haven't had a lot of nutritional work in their life before this. It's also for the experienced, people that have been working out their whole lives, fitness, nutrition. They just don't have any specific goals that they're trying to chase or follow, or they just don't know where they're going and they feel like they're hitting a rocky path. So it's for anybody that's from the beginning to the end, anything in between, it's right there for you. Now, I want to make sure that you are in the right place. So if you are in the right place, if you've tried everything that you know and you still nothing works, you're definitely in the right place. If you're just sick and tired of starving yourself and giving up foods over and over and over again, you're in the right place if you've felt embarrassed about your weight loss or your weight gain over the past few years, especially with all the pandemic and everything that's going on. A lot of people have lost or gained a lot of weight, stopped exercising, not exercised any at all. And it's just gone a little bit more from there. You're in the right place if you feel depressed or alone or hopeless in this journey and you feel like it's easier for everybody else and you just wish you could catch a break. You're in the right place if you tried your very, very hardest working out, dieting, you've done it, you've grinded it, and you still just end up back where you were. And research shows that most people end up back where they were, plus then some more on top of it because of what they did wasn't right in the first place. Now, you're also in the right place if you're just tired of feeling insecure or making jokes about your own weight, just so that nobody else can beat you to the punchline. It's much easier to joke about ourselves instead of crying about stuff that we're going through internally or externally. You're also in the right place if you want results, but you just don't feel like you have the time. That's the title for the busy professionals. And you're in the right place if you feel like you've been lost or you don't have any accountability. Now, if any of these are true, then you're in the right place. But more importantly, this is the right time. You know, we all go through one thing or another, especially if you've been around the past couple of years and been paying attention, we all go through stuff in our life. And we lose track of time every once in a while. And then you think, okay, I'm going to start again next week. I'm going to start again next month. All right, that Monday, or this is my new year. And all of a sudden that turns into 5 or 10 or 15 years or even longer. And you still haven't gotten to it and you're still waiting and you're still procrastinating. But something has brought you to the point now where you're here, you're thinking, you're wanting to listen, you're wanting to see something. It's time for a change. So who am I? Let me tell you a little bit about myself in case you don't know and what brought me here today. First, a lot of people look at me, people that have known me, coached with me, clients, things like that, and they think to themselves, oh, wow, he's been like this his whole entire life. He's been fit. It's easier for him. He just doesn't have this kind of a work schedule. It's different for him because he's in fitness, or some version where it looks like I always have it easier because of who I am and what I'm doing. Now, what a lot of people don't know about me is that I've actually been battling weight issues my entire life. And I'll tell you, it started when I was 8 years old. When I was 8 years old, my older brother committed suicide. Now that's already tragic enough for an 8-year-old, but I was actually the one that found him hanging in his closet. Now, this was the late 80s, so there wasn't a lot of suicide talk back then. I was an 8-year-old. He was my best friend. We lost my best friend, my big brother, and they sent me away actually for 3 months to go into a children's hospital inpatient clinic, followed by therapy. And the thing that a lot of the therapists did in the children's hospital, they just push food. So even from an early age of 8 years old, I learned to associate food with depression and getting over depression or feeling better from depression. And it just kept going. We fast forward a little bit to when I was 17 years old. I was a high school senior. When I was a senior in high school, I got in a bad car accident. I was sitting in the driver's side seat of a car. The girl that was driving started playing around like I'll call it our high school kids do. But we lost control and hit a tree going about 55 miles an hour. Now, I hit right into the tree. It broke all the right side of my body, my right arm, my femur, my ankle. The girl that was behind me, that I was just literally sitting right there in the same place, and we switched places 30 seconds before that, was thrown from the car and was killed on impact. So that also, I stayed in bed, almost didn't graduate high school. I stayed in bed for 6 weeks trying to recover, had to learn how to walk again. And again, being bedridden for that long of time, you just turn to food. And over the years, I just happened to continue to eat. I was, even when I was in grade school and I was in recreational sports, I don't know if they still do it like this now, but I was in recreational sports, and you had a weight limit that you had for each level, just to make sure bigger kids didn't, pick on the smaller kids, or that it was a more fair advantage. And every game, I always remember I had to take all the clothes off down to my underwear and just weigh, and I was still tipping the scale. I wore size husky. I grew up battling these problems, but it wasn't just the weight, it was the emotional issues that I was going through. We fast forward to 32 years old. I was 32 years old. I was feeling great, living the high life, having a great time. And I was diagnosed with bladder cancer. My doctor said, it's not your lifestyle, because it's typically people that are older or smoke or been in toxic environments, and you haven't any of these. There was a 1 in 10 million chance. Now, you would think that I would want better odds for the lottery, but it wasn't my lottery. So, and during that year, it actually came back 2 more times. So it was a lot of fighting, and I had a lot of depression, and I had a lot of not what's going on, and things got a little bit rocky from there. Now, I'd had a turning point. I'd hit a wall, and I'd gotten to my biggest. I was at my biggest weight. I was considered obese. I was 220 pounds. That's not very healthy for me for a number of reasons. And I eventually had a coach be very, very blunt and honest with me and said, listen, if you want to excel in athletics, because I'm an athlete, if you want to excel in athletics, you're going to have to drop some weight. It's going to make you move better. It's going to make you look better. And if you're going to be considered a professional athlete or a top athlete, anything, you're going to have to do better. So again, I went back to trying to figure out how to go. This time I went to the other extreme. I actually went out and I had this wonderful big epiphany, and I was going to say, I'm going to hire a trainer. That's how people get it done. So I hired a trainer. We set me on a program. We had training sessions, and it worked. I lost from 220, went down to 185 pounds. I lost a lot of body fat. Everything was going great, and I was feeling good. And then a few months later, I started to trail off of it, because it was good in the moment, but it was really hard to sustain over time. And without somebody right there telling me what to do the entire time, it became a little bit harder and a little bit harder and a little bit harder, and I would fluctuate. Eventually, I did find one plan, and it actually absolutely got me shredded. I was down to about 8% body fat, the smallest I'd been. I was lean, I was mean, I was a nice little fighting machine out there with my fitness. And it problem was, though, is it stayed our problem, is I couldn't sustain that type of lifestyle either. I just figured that I was going to have to be on these plans back and forth, and always challenging myself, but it became harder and it became harder. And the motivation kind of became less and less. So I had to deal with that. But I figured I was just settle in for it. If I really needed to lose weight, I've got the 90-day programs that I've done. If I really needed to go back and forth, I could just maintain. As long as I never go over that 200 mark, I'd be fine. And that's what I keep telling myself in my head. Then last year in January, I found out that my dad died. Now, if that wasn't already hard enough, 2 weeks after that, I found out that my cancer had come back. And it just kept on. And of course, it wasn't now, I was more of an adult. Now it just became food and alcohol. It was everything around me that I could just make myself feel better, even if it was temporarily. It was a lot of health issues, a lot of issues that were going back and forth over and over again. Then over time, I eventually found the answers. Now, they were all sitting right there underneath me. I just didn't realize it because I kept on looking or not looking or thinking that I was looking or saying that I was looking or kept on putting it off and procrastinating. But I finally found what I needed. And I finally what was going to help me push me to that next level. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. I realized that I can crush all my goals. I can make goals. I can keep it sustainable. And what we need, though, is we just need help doing it. We need help from other people that have gone through it before. We need help people that are going to help us stay accountable. And we'll talk more about that in just a moment. But I'm also still continually working. I haven't reached any destination, because this is a journey. As long as you can remember that it's a journey, you'll remember that we're not just trying to get to an end of an 8 weeks or a 12 weeks or an end of this or that. This is something that needs to be more sustainable, because that's what my problem was. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. Now, without any further ado, I do want to talk about what we're going to talk about today and go into it. Now, I do talk fast if you don't know, so I'm going to go a little bit fast. So just kind of keep going because I got a lot of content to cover tonight in this training. So just be ready with your notebooks if you want to take any notes or have to have any questions or anything like that. Also, I do want you to understand, like at the end of this, there's no sales presentation. Now, I know a lot of webinars, they set you up for that. And at the end, they say, if you act now, you can get it at this discounted price and this gets this kind of price. This is just to help you. This is to support you if I can help you and support you in any way. And if this resonates with you and you want to reach out to me and you want to find out if I can help you with where you're at in your life, then that would be great too. I'll give you the information at the end. You can take that down. And if I can support you and help you along your journey, then I'll let you know then. But in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's traditionally done and then also what inevitably fails. After that, I'm going to start talking about the three big areas that if you can take control over just these three areas, your health, your fitness, and your accountability, that not only can you just have control over your life, but that freedom that it comes with that forever, not just short term, but long term. And that's what we're looking for. What we're going to talk about today is how to lose fat, how to actually know your weight and understand it's just not the number that's on the scale. It's just not how your clothes are feeling, but it's actually taking control, learning that, oh, I'm up 5 pounds. Well, that's okay, because I know if I do this, this, and this, I can be down 5 pounds. And it doesn't involve the starving. That's the second thing. We're going to talk about the nutrition, because a lot of people want to work on the nutrition. They've got the fitness down, but they need the nutrition, or they've got the nutrition down, but they've got the fitness, and they want one or the other, but they go hand in hand, and those have to meet, they have to join, they have to be there together. And the third, and what I think most everybody leaves out, and what I think is actually the most important, and I've learned it personally myself and a lot of my clients as well, is accountability. I'm going to talk to you about, like, if you can actually help yourself by getting help from other people, because we all feel like it's something that we should do by ourselves. But if you can have that accountability, then it's going to help you not fall off that wagon, not fail again and again and again, and not be this ongoing journey that you're starting year after year. And then after all of that, I'm going to talk about my 6-step overview of the program that I use with my clients that help them lose the fat, that help them transform their lives, that help them have the system that I personally use that's gotten me what I need, and that's gotten many of my own clients success stories also. Now, I want to just talk a little bit about what's traditionally done. All right. First, traditionally, when you go into a gym, you go into any kind of fitness program, what they do is they set you up with a nice little cookie cutter fitness program. Now, I've been on both sides of it. I've been the person going in looking for a trainer, and I've been the trainer that people are looking for. I've been on both sides of it, and I understand this is how it works. You're trying to help the masses, and that's a great thing. Just get everybody to move, and that would be great. That's wonderful. But when you do that cookie cutter approach with fitness and nutrition, it doesn't work for everybody because it's a cookie cutter. It gives you a generalized view. That's why you have a lot of people that are out there and they're looking for influencers and they're looking for Google this and Google that, and they're looking for all of this. And who do I believe? And what do I believe? And you're getting information from somebody that's never even gone through this hard problem before. You're getting information from somebody that's even gone through what you're going through. Somebody that's not even been fat before. You're getting information that's people that never had eating problems before. You're getting information from people that just don't understand because it's trying to fit the masses, and that's fine, but it's not always going to work for everybody, and especially everybody long term. Another thing that's traditionally done is you sign up at a gym. I've got this trainer and we're going to work together this many times a week, this many times a month, and all this kind of good stuff. But what you don't realize is that trainer is overworked, overbooked, and he's tired, and he's giving you the same programs that he's given the next person and the next person and the next person. He's giving you the same fitness person as somebody else that has a completely different goal than you. And it's the same thing because you have to give mass production of programs to help the masses of people. It's hard to have that one-on-one attention, or you become another number in the system. You go join one of the other online fitness communities, or you join this or enjoy that, and all of a sudden it does work for a little bit, but all of a sudden you get mixed up in the number systems and you're not there anymore, and you're not as motivated anymore, right? So you're not as motivated, or your trainer is somebody that is more engaged in being on Instagram and trying to influence other people than he is about helping other people to do their goals. Now, traditionally, you're told how to do one specific goal. I want to be this way by this time, X, Y, Z. And those are really great. Specific goals are wonderful. Short-term goals, long-term goals are all great. But nobody ever tells you what happens after that. Now you see these before and after pictures. You see, here's the Mrs. Jones, and here she started like this, and she was this weight, and she lost this, and here she is after her program, and she did this. But what happened in a year? What happened in 5 years? What happened in 10 years? Do we see those? Because you're not set up for success. You're set up for a short-term goal and not how to live a life. Traditionally you purchase it and you're just let on your own. I've had programs like that. You order it, it's a great infomercial, you get out there, and all of a sudden you start it, you got to read all the book, you got to figure this out. How are you supposed to figure out a lot of stuff? I went through all of this stuff. I mean, I had a good background in physical training, and it's still hard. So how is it supposed to be if you don't even speak that language? And you got to go through all of this. If you couldn't help yourself to begin with, how is reading about helping yourself going to help? Right? So traditionally you're given fitness and nutrition, but you're not given the emotional support, right? Because there's not just the lows of it, there's highs. You have to get emotional support from the highs as much as you do the lows. You're going to hit some highs. You got to have expectations and be able to manage those expectations, that after the first month, you're going to feel this. After the second month, you're going to feel this. After the second week, you're going to do this. This is what you're feeling kind of right now. I felt that before. You need empathy and sympathy, but you also need a little tough love, all packaged up into one. And those unexpected expectations can take you down a bad hole of depression that I've been through myself multiple times. Too often the approach that you might get traditionally is based on shame or guilt. Like, you can't have that. No. And we're adults. We don't need to be told, no, you can't do. Yeah, I'm not saying there's not going to be sacrifices and stuff that you have to do. You do have to change habits if you want things to change. But what happens is you get guilted into it, or that boot camp mentality where it's all hard. I got to push it hard. But they're not taking anything off of it. They're not easing up a little bit. They're not going back and forth, and they're not helping you. They're only trying to be a badass and show you how badass they are. Well, you are the one that needs to be the badass by getting more help and help. The problem with all those things, they have pitfalls. All of them have pitfalls. So people that are looking for those short-term fixes that you're talking about, like we just talked about, there's short-term to time. So you're going to look your best in that amount of time, getting ready for the wedding, getting ready for the vacation, getting ready for the cruise, getting ready for the summer vacation, getting ready for this and getting ready for that event, getting ready for all these things. And then what happens after it? You're in that roller coaster. And just like we talked about, we'll talk about this more in a little bit, but that roller coaster is not just physical. Things inside of your head and things inside of your body, those chemical things are on a roller coaster too. And that can lead you in a bad spiral if you're not prepared for them. It's a lot easier. I'm not saying that they're not going to happen. They're going to happen. No matter what you're doing, whether it's good or bad, they're going to happen. You're going to go through ups and downs. But if you can have some expectations on it, it's a little easier to handle than if it just comes out of the blue and all of a sudden you're overcome with all of these depressional feelings. So we don't want that to happen either. Another pitfall is that you just fail. You failed what it was because you feel like it's not for you. You know yourself, and this program's not for you. I've read this and I know the other popular fads, and I eat pretty clean. It's just not my genetics. I'm big boned, and all the other excuses and all the other all or nothing approaches. I have to give it up to do this. I have to give it up to do that. It shouldn't be something that you feel like it's a punishment. It's not a punishment. To be able to control your mind and your body and your health, that's a reward. That's not a punishment. And we get such a bad rap of that over the social media and all the years of the media pushing the wrong ideas over and over again. So another pitfall is that you push too hard, too quickly. You go in so gung-ho at the very first week or two in that first month, and you're losing weight and you're doing this, and you all of a sudden you burn out. You get injured. You're not realizing that, oh, I went really, really hard today, but then I can't go for 3 more days. Or I had a good leg workout. I can't even walk for the next 3 days. Those aren't good things anymore. We don't live in the times of no pain, no gain anymore. All right. We live in a time of being smart and understanding how to use your body correctly, efficiently, and effectively. And then you just end up quitting. You just blame it on yourself. It's not for me. It's not my kind of thing. It's not this. It's not that. Another pitfall is that you end up doing really awesome. I did that. I ended up doing really, really awesome. And then a year goes by, 2 years goes by, a month, even 3 months goes by. And now you're right back to where you started all over again. And now you're a little deflated, a little depressed. And you see, like, it was good to get there, but to have that discipline, that knowledge to go after it, that's really, really hard. The pandemic helped us to see. It was a good wake-up call. The whole pandemic, the COVID, everything, it helped us kind of see ourselves and where our discipline was, where our knowledge base was. We were eating clean or we weren't eating clean. It's not that you're going to get knocked down. It's not that you're going to not, maybe go into a depression and drink, but I'm talking about how to get out of that, knowing how to get out of it, having the strength to get out of that. So we've got a good chance to see that about ourselves and being honest with ourselves over and over again. Another big one that hurts a lot of people is that there's no post plan. You have this goal, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever the goal is, but there's nothing that follows it up. There's no goal that follows up the goal. There's no way to know what you're going to go for. And say after it's like, I guess if I want to stay looking like this, I just have to eat like this. And I'll tell you, it's not something that's sustainable. All of those things help you get quick results, but they also is going to be flipped quickly and you're not going to get the same things in return. Then eventually you just keep on blaming yourself and you give up and you just don't want to do it anymore. You just have all the negative thoughts about it and you get more associations with negative thoughts and more associations with negative thoughts. Now, the truth is there's only one of you. There's only one of you in this whole world. So you need something that's customized to you. You need something fitness-wise that's going to work for you, something that's going to work with you and where you're at right now in your life. Not where you were 20 years ago, not where you were in high school, not any of that stuff, where you are now that needs to meet you where you are. That's where your fitness and your nutrition needs to go for. Another truth is that you need personalized attention, that personalized accountability. You need somebody there for you, somebody to where you're just like, okay, right? Because in order to break bad habits, you've got to form good habits. Now, a lot of people don't realize that discipline is a skill. It's a skill that can be strengthened or weakened. It can be created to get stronger or to be destroyed. And you may not have a lot. You may look at somebody else. You may look at me even and say, wow, I wish I could have his discipline. I haven't always had the discipline. It's not just God-given. I've just been working at it a lot longer. So for people in the fitness world, I've just been doing more reps of it. I've just been more reps of the fitness and more reps of the discipline. But you can have people that can help you teach you to do that better. Now, can you learn it on your own? Absolutely. It's like learning a language. It's a new body language. Like if I was going to learn Spanish on my own, I could probably do it. Would I get frustrated and probably give up a lot? Yeah. Would it take a lot longer? Yeah. But if I had help, if I had somebody keeping me accountable, somebody keeping me on track, somebody giving me the guide, would that get me there? Absolutely. That's a whole different ball game. The truth is that your small goals are great, but if you don't set up something beyond those small goals, you have a small limited window of hours, not days, not weeks, of hours before you start to trail off. Because as soon as you stop something, it's so much harder. Just imagine that you have a car that's died, the battery's died, it's out of gas, whatever, and you start pushing it. Now, when you start pushing it, it's so hard to start pushing, but when it gets rolling, it's a lot easier because it's already rolling. Now, it's still a struggle because you're still pushing. But what happens if somebody slams the brake on and you're going uphill at the same time? Oh my gosh, that's exactly what happens. That's what happens with the small goals. We keep on slamming the brakes on. We don't have anything set up to keep going. We don't have that momentum built up. So even if you go slow, even if you go super slow, that's still going. And that's what people don't do. They do all or nothing approach. Now, the truth is that you just need maybe one or two people. A lot of people don't realize like there's other people out there that are going through the stuff. Now, I may be able to empathize and sympathize with what you're going through or what you've gone through. Maybe I won't, and that's okay too. But there are people out there that can help you. The biggest problem that I've had and that a lot of my clients have had is they felt like they're alone. I'm telling you right now, you're not alone on any of this stuff. You just need help. And it can be help that's helping you to last a lifetime, something more sustainable. It's about changing your lifestyle, changing your fitness habits, changing your mindset, changing your nutrition. It all literally changes the chemical composition in your body, in your mind. You literally think differently. You are a different person completely. So when I talk about the transformations that I give, I'm not talking just the physical. That's easy. That stuff is the easy, but dealing with all the mental and how to keep on going and how to sustain it and have the high expectations and how to do this and how to do that, that's overwhelming. The truth is you probably already feel the shame. You don't need more shame. You've already feel embarrassed throughout your lives. I know I did. I know that when I was at my worst, I don't like to even look at myself in the mirror before I get in or out of the shower. I'm always wanting to be covered up. I don't want the lights to ever be on if I'm naked in front of somebody else. It's stuff that we have to be honest with. And I'm fully aware of all of that stuff. We go through all of that. The truth is that we live in an impatient world right now. We live in an impatient time where you can click this and you can punch that and you can get it instantly. If something's even 5 minutes late when you only ordered it 7 minutes ago, you get outraged. And we take that same kind of mentality, that same kind of focus, and we think it applies to everything. The unfortunate part about it is in fitness, it doesn't apply to that. There's no shortcuts. You can't outsource this. You can't take it to somebody else. You can't get the job done. You can't get Uber Fits that's going to work out for you and do all this stuff and eat right for you and translate it into something better. You can't. This is one of those things that's going to be lifelong for a long. Now you can get cosmetic surgery, but we're not talking about the easy fix. We're talking about sustainable stuff, because even if you get the cosmetic surgery, it can still come back because you haven't ingrained the habits on it. There's story after story after story of people that get the tummy tucks or get plastic surgery or anything else. And it's a short-term fix. It's a short-term goal, because if you don't change the habits that got you there, if you don't change the mindset, if you don't take care of that inner beast or those inner demons that are in there, that's created the situation that you have now, how are you going to get out of it? And more importantly, people aren't mentally and physically, emotionally, psychologically, they're not set up for healthy long-term results. They're set up to get something quick, fast, and in a hurry. And if they don't get it quick, fast, and in a hurry, they're frustrated and it's not their fault and they're really all ready to blame. Now, this is an overwhelming process already, but it's a journey. It's not a destination. We're not going to some place. We're going to many, many places along the way. But that's a big reason why a lot of people fail, is because they give it a week, they give it 2 weeks, they give it a month, and they're like, this is hard. This is hard, but it's going to be hard, and it's going to be hard to work at it. But it's hard because you don't feel confident at the end of it. You only know that you can get to maybe this point or this point or this point, but you have to know that there's hope beyond that. The truth is that you don't have to do this alone. Too often, including myself, we think that we have to be strong enough. We have to do this. Most of us grew up in a generation and an era where we had to be, we had to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps, and we got to get in there. We got to work. We got to do all of this. But too often we think we're the only ones, and we're not. We talk to the person next to us. We talk to the person next to us, like, oh, they share this same story. They share that same story. I didn't know that they went through that. Or you think to yourself, others just have it easier. Others don't have it easier. They may have been working at it longer, but nobody has it easier. Now, if you can just learn, I say this easily, it's not easy. If you can learn how to exercise efficiently and effectively and daily, learn how to fit them in and understand your whole perception of what a workout is. In our minds, we all think, and when I say the word workout, we think something, right? Whatever it is, good, bad, indifferent, we always have a perception of it. But that's what we think of. But if we can change that outlook, we can change the outcome. If we can change our perception, we can change the reality of who we are and what we're doing. We want immediate results. I went to the gym. I deserve this. I'm entitled to this. I'm in this and this is. And then if you can just understand a little bit at a time, then you're not going to have to worry about it. And you're going to see gym life better. And you're going to realize it doesn't have to be on the gym. It's a part of your life wherever you go. You take a vacation from work, but not from fitness. You don't take a vacation from eating, so don't take a vacation from fitness either. And that you're going to learn how to enjoy it. So you look forward to it at the end of the day. You look forward to it in the morning. You might be groggy and tired, but you look forward to it. Now, if you can learn how to eat better, make better choices, know what the better choices are. Not really, really bland or really, really delicious. Those aren't the choices. It's not that dichotomy of doing one or the other. You can have a lot of stuff. You can have your fun foods in your diet. Now, you might have to sacrifice at the beginning, strip some things away, get us down to our foundation, but you're building a new foundation. Instead of going out and building a whole new house with a whole new foundation, you're going to only work with the frame that you have right now, yours. You're going to strip away the bad stuff, all the bad habits, and we're going to rebuild it stronger from the bottom up. And that's how we're going to get it better. So you can enjoy the fun foods. You can enjoy it. You can just realize what moderation is, what portion size is. And lastly, if you can learn to accept help. This was my biggest one, and I still work on it right now. Learn to accept help. Take that accountability. It's scared. We can use a lot of excuses, everything from time to money to anything else around you, to make sure that we don't have to blame ourselves and we don't have to have help from other people. But I promise you, there's not one person out there that's ever gotten to where they are without help from somebody else. So if you can get that help, then you can learn how to stay on that wagon and not fail again and again and again. If you can learn how to take control over these 3 stages of your life, then you can learn how to lose the fat. how to keep the fat off, or if you do gain it back again, it's not a big deal anymore. You're not panicking about it because you know exactly the keys and the recipe to get it right back down again. You can have that work-life balance. You can go on vacation and not gain 20 pounds. You don't have to spend hours in the gym. You're not going to the gym because you feel like you're trying to negate your lifestyle choices. You're going to the gym because you're trying to make yourself feel better and look better. You're not going to have to give up foods that you love. I still eat the foods that I love. I can be as lean as I want to, and I haven't given up anything. And so that's what you have to understand, and then you won't fail over and over and over again. This reminds me of one of my clients, Don. Don travels a lot. Now, Don travels for business. He goes to other countries. He stays around here. He's married, a new baby. He put on more weight, 60 pounds. He's heavier than he's ever been. He's been a professional athlete just a few years ago. Work catches up, life catches up. It all catches up. Eventually, we all have our excuses. And eventually, he realized he needed some help. So he reached out. Within his first month, we stayed with him. Now, when I say we, this program involves me and my partner in crime, Lisa. So we have a two-pronged system here. And we'll talk more about this in a second, but two people are going to help everybody. Everybody's going to get through this journey and their adventure together. We helped Don with all of this stuff. So we were on the phone with him. We were keeping him accountable. We're telling him what he can do. When he was in another country, we helped him there. When we come back, we helped him there. We're making sure that you only have this amount of time to work out. You can do this. And within the first 6 weeks, he dropped 25 pounds. But it wasn't just that. That's the easy part if you just do the eating right, move a little bit. But he was so excited. He saw a different side of himself. He literally looked younger, felt younger, acted younger. And the most important thing is he can actually see and believe that it's possible. Just like another one of our clients that we have, Dave. Dave is over 300 pounds, 64 years old. You would think by that time, 6'4", over 300 pounds, that's just like, okay, if I can just stay alive and stay healthy, that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to do, is just try to stay alive, try to stay healthy. And that's what we're here for. We're all trying to just do that, right? Well, he finally got to the point where he had to make a decision, an important decision. He had to either decide, I'm going to have surgery at 64 years old, 300 pounds, or over 300 pounds, or I'm going to do something about it. So he decided to reach out to me and Lisa. He reached out and we set him on a path. And within his first 3 weeks, he's already dropped 22 pounds. Now, like I said before, I say this over and over again. Eating correctly drops the weight easily. Moving correctly drops weight easily. But it's not all of those things. If it was that easy, we'd just all be doing it. We could just all read it, all get it. You can just get something off of Google right now, it tells you what to do. But it's all that support that we've given him along the way. And it's not just for people that are busy traveling around. It's for busy people that are here. We have a mother that we worked with. She had birth 5 years ago. She's still fighting her baby weight 5 years after giving birth. That was until she reached out for help. And then within the first 3 months, her 90-day program got her down in the first 3 months, got her down to losing 20 pounds and even better than she was before the baby weight. She continues to work on it, even 2 years after working with her on that. All right. I'm going to take a few minutes to kind of go over the steps that I use so you can kind of see what I'm talking about with our clients in the version of the lifestyle transformation program that we have. We call it our version 180 because at the end of this program, it shows you the opposite, right? The 180-degree version of who you are and what you become, right? So we use a very easy to follow 6-step program that we put in place that if you follow it, I promise you, you're going to get the results that you're looking for. Not only those results, but a little bit more. We assess step 1, we assess where you are right now. We talked about that before. Step number 2, we give you a personalized fitness and nutrition program. Step number 3, we hold that accountability tabs. We talk about that with you and that accountability factor. Step number 4, we continue to alter and monitor and adjust as you go through it. You're a living organism. You're a living being. It changes daily and weekly and monthly. So this should change all the time also. We're there to help you. Step number 5 is to help with all the emotions, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, everything in between as you go through this from beginning to end. And then step number 6, we help you post that challenge, what you're going to do after that, the results that you're getting, where you want to go with those, making sure that we set you up for a good destination so that you're not just lost after another goal that you try to attain. Right. So I'm going to go back through all of that stuff. And I'm going to talk just a little bit more about it in detail so you understand kind of what we do. Now, I talked about we assess where you're at. We talked about this a little bit before. We assess where you're at and what got you here. Not why you're here. You want to lose weight. Yeah, all that general stuff, all the generic stuff, superficial stuff. I want to get in better shape. I want this, I want that. But why? Why? Tap into it a little bit. This is going to be something that's going to take you outside of your comfort zone in our programs, because it's going to have to change things inside, internally, as much outside, externally. So we want to find out what got you to this position. And there's no judgment. There's no judgment. There's nothing that you could say to us and we're going to say, no, 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 bad, bad, bad. We've all gone through. We all have our demons and our skeletons in our closet. So the idea is that we want to help you get from where you are now to a happier lifestyle that you can sustain and make it more maintainable, more sustainable. Give you a personalized fitness program. I'm not going to be your personal trainer. I'm not going to get on here and train with you. Now you can add that if you want to as well. But what I'm going to do is most people already have some type of fitness program that they're doing. That's fine. I'm not here to mess with that. I'm here to tell you what you need to be doing. I'm here to tell you, okay, if you're getting this amount of calorie burn for this, you need to do X amount more. Well, I don't know where I'm going to get that. Well, can you do it here? Can you do it here? I'm helping you problem solve. I'm helping you I'm going to be your consultant. I'm going to be your coach. I'm going to be there for you the entire time as you go through this, so you can help maximize the time that you have to move and make sure that you're getting the most out of everything. Like I said before, you're going to have to sacrifice. People sacrifice all the time, but short-term sacrifices to get the long-term results over and over and over again. That's what we're looking for. I think I heard a quote, something paraphrased to the point of, you can have a few months of sacrifice to live forever like a champion. And that's what I want you to think about in any of these goals that we do. And that the goal by the end is that you start actually enjoying the workouts. You're not coming to them and going, oh, not again, not again, not again, because you won't keep doing something that you don't like, right? We will force ourselves for a small period of time over and over and over again, and we just restart that cycle. The whole idea here is to break that cycle and to restart something a little bit more valuable, that you have a different perception and a different association. Now, we're also going to give you the new nutritional plan. And this is going to be for you. Whether you're vegan, pescatarian, vegetarian, you like everything, you like nothing, that's what Lisa works with. We work hand in hand on this in our team spirit, and you're going to find out what you can eat at home, how to prepare, what you eat, can go to the restaurants, what you can eat. We have our clients that will literally send Lisa the menu of the restaurant and say, what's good here? I'm going to go to this dinner function here. I have this work function here. I don't want to stand out here. What am I doing here? It's about making sure that you're educated, because the more educated you are anywhere you go, the better you're going to be able to arm yourself with what you can do there. Not just, oh, I blew it off tonight. I ate this and I ate this and I ate this. Well, maybe you did. That's okay. Then next day you get up, you're fine. You don't feel guilty about it because you know how to get there. You have support going there. We help you plan in advance, preparation and planning, organization, making sure that in a pinch you're able to pick this or this and which one is the best, what you can do here. Making sure in a second, I only got this much time in the day because I'm so busy. What do I do? What do I do? That's what we're here for. We're here to teach you about portion control, not just to say it and as this fancy catchphrase of saying do this and your macros and do that and your micros and all this kind of stuff. Most people don't even know what that really means. They just hear it in Instagram, they just hear it in social media, and they read a little bit about it and they think they're an expert on it, right? Our job is not only to do this stuff, but to teach it to you. So you have to be willing to learn the things that's going to help you stay on that wagon, not have that fear of falling off over and over again. You're going to see food not only as fuel, but as energy and as enjoyable and as whatever you wanted to see. We're going to put and into everything instead of saying either or from here on out. Right. So in step number 3, we tap into that accountability. We have to monitor you. We're going to monitor you with the PDFs that we're going to share. We're going to have weekly check-ins where we're talking to you for a good 20 to 30 minutes. We're going to make sure there's going to be changes in your lifestyle. In order to make changes, you're going to have to make changes. Right. So that's what we're going to be doing. To see, we're going to have the measurements of what we're doing, just to have numbers. The more numbers that we have what's going on, the better that we're going to have, the more accountability. And for the next 90 days, you have 2 experts that work with you, teach you, motivate you, coach you, be there. It's a part of your team, a part of your support system to help you achieve the best version of yourself. Get that 180-degree turn, help you to believe in yourself, help you to get more confidence, help you to have more hope, not be depressed, help you to be more productive, be more proactive, not be afraid of what might happen, but more afraid of what might not happen, or what might happen if you don't act on it now. Step number 4, we continue to alter. So these weekly check-ins, the daily check-ins, we'll talk to you, we'll monitor you, we adjust it along the way. We see what's going to happen. Okay, you're going to go do this. We need to do this. We're going to do this. This equals this. And we're trying to teach you the entire time. We're going to teach you, if you go to these places, you're going to do this, because I want you to understand that in 90-day period, you're going to do a lot of things, a lot more than you ever think. So we're going to help you with a lot of things, and you're going to be a lot more prepared. We're going to step number 5, we handle that overwhelming feeling we've talked about over and over again. That's one of the biggest things a lot of people miss, is that emotional roller coaster that you're going to feel. Even when you're going through good times, you go through emotional roller coasters. Even when you hit your highs and you're at your best part, that's an emotional roller coaster just as much as the lows is, and everything in between. So we're there to help you get into the best shape of your life, mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually even. And step number 6, we're there for you in the results, and then on after to help you with everything from there, right? So just that quick overview of those quick 6 steps. But I just need to tell a little FYI before I wrap it up for tonight. If you are interested in this program, this is not for people that are just trying to get that beach body for the summer in 5 weeks. It's not for the people that are looking for the latest trend or fad. These aren't for the people that are not willing to get outside of their comfort zone, or they live their life as to party. I'm not here to judge. You live whatever life you want to. I'm happy with it. I'm here to help people that want to get the help, that want to make real changes, sustainable changes, long-term changes. Not the person that's getting ready for a wedding. That's fine. Everybody has their own things, but this is not that program for you, right? Or the person that just wants to make sure they can fit in their bikini, or they're going to go on a cruise, or this. That's not for the short-term goal people. It's not for the people who aren't ready to work hard. It's not for the people who are not done being the victim. If you still are not taking full responsibility, or not ready to take full responsibility, or you're using excuses, this program is not for you. So if you have a tough thing, we all have tough things. We all have tough situations. We've all just gone through 2 years of a tough situation together, plus all the other stuff that's happened in our lives. So I have stuff, you have stuff, we all have stuff, but it's not those situations that define us. It's how we come out, what we learn from those situations, and how we come out that tell us who we are. You must, if you were to do this program, if it interests you, you must be willing to put in effort. Get outside of your comfort zone. Be able to invest yourself for 90 days. That's 3 months. 3 months that can change everything if you're willing to get outside of that comfort zone. Because it's not just changing yourself in the moment right now. It's changing your trajectory. It's changing your future. You have to be coachable. You have to be open-minded. You have to be willing to go do stuff that you haven't done before, because if the stuff that you were doing before worked, you wouldn't be where you are now needing that help. And that's what it took me a long, long time to figure out also. You must be ready for that change. You must be willing to do it, and make sure that you show up every single day, whether it's 100% or just 1%. If you feel like you're ready to make that change, then I'd love to chat with you more. If this is right for you, if this resonates, if any of this resonates with you and you're ready to take that action, then the contact information is the email I sent to you. You can reach out. We can schedule a time. We can schedule a consult and see if this is something that's for you, if this program is what you want. And like I said before, you can reach out. We'll talk about it, and I'll let you know if this is for you or if it's not, if we can help each other. We want to make sure on these calls that we're in alignment together, that we're on the same track together. But if it's something that you want to be in this journey, you're ready for this journey, then I encourage you to email me, book that call. We'll get them. We'll find out. I'd love to talk to you about where you're at, how I can best support you, if I can best support you, if I can lead you in another direction to help support you. And I would help you, and I would help you. I would hope that you would reach out. If so, the number or the contact information is the Gmail that I sent the link to. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns aside from that, I'll send it there. Also, you can send the information there as well. But I just want to thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for your attention. I hope you got something out of value out of the training tonight. And hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks for showing up, guys. Have a good night. Bye.